morning, everybody. It's Joanna with Color and Chat Joanna. If this is your first time here, hey girl, welcome, or hey boy. Uh, if you are returning, thank you. and for my hard hitters and the people who are just ride or dies with me, hey, love you guys. Happy Friday. I don't know if it's a happy Friday or just a holy Christ. I mean, I'm so happy we survived till Friday. I think everybody that I'm probably talking to right now has had that kind of week. Everybody I know has had a week. It's been like, oh my gosh, there's so much going on in it. And it must just be like a temperature thing. I don't know. But yeah, we did have a little bit of tragedy and a little bit of excitement this week and I'm sorry, I should be diamond painting while I'm talking, but I'm not. So yeah, it was kind of an interesting week. We did um earlier in the week, I told you that our Aunt Marianne was very ill, and unfortunately, yesterday she passed away. She was 80 years old. She was an interesting, quirky character of a person. Um, she was a hoarder. I can say this. You know, you're supposed to say three nice things about somebody. I'm going to say something. She's the best hoarder I ever saw in my life. And I watched the hoarding shows. You know, I'd curl up with my dogs and, you know, a bowl of leftover pasta and say, "Oh, let's see if anything happens in an hour. Do they really, do they really find the house or is it just a lost cause?" But she was the best hoarder I ever saw. And I'm not judgmental about people who hoard because I think I have a little bit of insight as to why they do. If you listen to the shows, and listen to the people's lives and their stories, it all has a common thread, and that is how we cope. And hoarding is kind of a coping skill for some people. And if you can look past that, then you can see people for who they are, and it's not all that terrible. But yeah, she's a good hoarder. I mean, the hoarder show people would have given her big money, like to do a show there. It would have been the woolly mammoth of all shows, because it's like, wow, how can one person do this much collecting? I mean, it was like, holy crap. But to all my hoarder friends out there, and this is a safe place. I'm not judging you at all, but I'm begging you as a human being, as a former volunteer, responder, as a former volunteer of anything, please, please leave the front door and the back door open so people can get to you. Because she passed out. It was a worse scenario. She passed out or fell or hit something. We really don't know how it happened. But she was unconscious in her house for 2 days, and no one knew. No one knew to get a hold of her. I wish there was some kind of gadget or app or something in a security system in a home where if there's no movement for a certain amount of days, or a certain amount of hours, that it would alert somebody. That would be a cool thing. If you're a nerd tech, invent that and make a bunch of money and consider it my gift. I don't know how to create that kind of stuff, but it would be amazing to make something for our seniors who, might be in bed or maybe trapped on the floor, and 5 or 6 hours go by, and some kind of motion detector alert system. I would love to see that happen in the future. Because this is just not a dignified or elegant way to be found, is on the floor. And she could have been there for 2 days. We don't even know. But she is not suffering now, and she is not in pain. And I hope and pray that she rests in peace. So, we found that out early yesterday morning. By yesterday afternoon, since she already had made her funeral arrangements and all of that in advance. We just called the appropriate people and called the church, and they said, well, due to the COVID situation and due to, I mean, we're some places are ahead of other places in the country, in the United States anyway. Hold on, sip of coffee real quick. I'm sorry, we're going to be here a minute. Okay, so some states and some places are opening back up. Other places are a little farther behind due to their numbers and what they're experiencing. And so we are not going to have, I mean, and here I am like digging out my husband's suit and trying to get us packed and thinking, are we going to, I mean, because we have to fly halfway across country for this. This is not, and we just recently got our second shot. So are we really like safe to travel? Because they say wait 14 days before you do anything. Although I don't know what the, I guess the 14 days is an applicable time frame, but I'm in that 14 days. So we didn't even know if we could fly or travel. Anyway, as we're trying to work out all of these arrangements and, the shenanigans, the scenario and what could happen and, what do I do? I got to get somebody to watch my dogs and I got to get, yada, yada, yada. All that goes through your head. So your adrenaline just goes boom. You're in high shootout mode. And no matter how long you know that somebody is ill and that it is going to go downhill and that eventually, this is going to happen, it's always a shock. It's always a shock. So my poor long-suffering husband was quite devastated. He's he's been very close to her, and she always thought that basically the sun and the moon were hung on John's shoulders, and I happen to agree with that. So so there were a lot of endearing memories and and trips that we took together with Aunt Marianne and times that she came to stay with us for holidays and Christmas. And I mean, her whole, oh my God, when we lived in Connecticut, she was just like, oh, I'm going to Connecticut for Christmas. I'm having a Christmas in Connecticut. She was so excited. And the whole time she was with us, she really, really enjoyed herself. And, oh my God, she just loved my cooking and gobbled up everything I ever made for her. So I can say that too. But, anyways, so by 4 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday, which is kind of why I didn't stream, it was just sort of a emotional, chaotic day. And when I come to you, I want to bring the good stuff. You know what I mean? I don't want you to see me. I don't care. I mean, really, if you saw me in an emotional wreck, it would be for a reason. But I felt like I just needed to pause for a day and let's walk through this grief moment. And there was just so much to think about and so much to do. And we had to have like some really serious conversations, my husband and I, about, I mean, of course, his father, who is very close to his sister, is seeing his own mortality. So he took it pretty hard. And that makes it so difficult. It's so difficult to comfort someone over the phone. You really can only say so much without being there. And so we are having a Zoom funeral. That's right. A Zoom. Now, I have heard of the Zoom funerals. I've never been to one. And I don't know what to wear. I mean, like for the church, I had it all covered. I knew what to wear. I don't know what to wear. I really don't. And I'm trying not to laugh about it because I'm just like, you guys saw my live when I was face to face. I am so awkward on camera. I mean, it's not my natural place. It's none of our natural place to be. But some people do it much better than others. And I am not one of those people. So, you guys, what do I wear? What do you wear to a Zoom funeral, And what do you do and how do you participate? Do you participate? I don't even know if we're going to be asked to speak or if we're going to be silent or, I really am kind of a little nervous about this whole thing, and I do not want to make a mess of it, but I gotta do some Zoom funeral research, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so that happened. Um, Dishwasher exploded and went into a coma, and I was almost sure it was dead. It flooded up, and oh God, that horrible, like that rotten egg smell from the water that came up with it. I was like, ew. So that had to get dealt with too. And thank God, I mean, the guy showed up and, cleaned out the dishwasher disposal, which never works. I don't even know how it got clogged. I don't use it because it's so temperamental. And saved the dishwasher. I thought it was dead, but it was an easy repair. So he was, but it was kind of like 3 or 4 phone calls. Well, when can you come? Well, we just got this really bad news. You know what? I know I called you and I asked you if you could come straight away or in the morning, but now we're dealing with a death in the family. It just happened. Can I have you come in the afternoon? These people are so kind and so patient. Sometimes when you need really good people to be good, to be at their best, they show up. I mean, it is amazing. They show up and say, no problem. How can we help you? How can we make this day a tiny bit more tolerable? Because some days are just less tolerable than others. What are you going to do? Anyway, yeah, so as David used to call it when he was little, the mayonnaise man. The mayonnaise man came and he fixed it all and made the world feel good. And I remember he used to sing it like the Sunshine Song, Who can take a broken refrigerator and make it all anew? And he would do that every time and he would say, the mayonnaise man can. And it just cracked me up. It brought back a really funny memory. Because he had his own words for things, and I just loved it. Every time his, you know, heart monitor would go off on an irregular. My son was on a heart monitor for 2.5 years. Yeah, we had a hard start, but we got there. Um, and if his numbers were irregular or something, we would have to just, okay, we're gonna take a trip, go to hospital, and he would call, oh, are we going to the hospital? He could never say hospital. He said hospital. Are we going to the hospital? And he was always just the friendliest, happiest little patient in the world. I mean, I never had a nurse, and I had nurses that were just like, oh my God, this child is screaming. I can't make him stop. I cannot fix what's wrong with him, and it's making me nuts. And it was like David was never a moody, difficult. I was like, as long as you explain what you're doing to him, it's like, okay, can I look in your ear, Bob? Let's look in the ear, Bob. And he said, you can look in my ear, Bob. And even though it was a little uncomfortable for him, he would kind of flinch a little, but he wasn't like a screamer or, get away from me. He actually just flirted. He had long eyelashes like a girl. I have to show you a picture of him when he was a baby. Oh my God. Hold on. I'm going to try to find it while I'm talking to you on the phone. He had the longest eyelashes and the prettiest little boo-boo face. And so he was a terrible flirt. I mean, he really was. And I think he kind of still is. He will kill me. He's like, no, don't show pictures of me when I was a child. But I can and I will if I want to. Anyway, cutest little beggar you ever saw. And so I guess because the hospital was such a common place for us to be, he really was not afraid of it. He wasn't fearful of the hospital. It was just, yeah, we're going to go there, and they're just going to make sure that you're okay. And, they have to check your little numbers and check your heart rate. He was born premature and really premature. And problem with, you know, babies is their heart is the last thing that really matures in your body before you're born. So when you come out early, that little heart has to grow and catch up with the rest of you. Hang on, I'm really close to the cute pictures, but yeah, here you go. Um, just oh my god, I can't believe this. I'm looking at old pictures while I'm talking to you guys on the phone. This is like memory alley. You ever do that where you're like, oh man, we really should look at more pictures. Um, that is little David. Can you guys see these eyelashes? Wasn't he cute? There's that picture you take with him where it's like, oh my God, please sit still for mommy. But he had these. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. Oh, my phone is dirty, so it's not helping. But he had these ring light. Don't. These. Anyway, that's my little cutie patootie. So he was a terrible flirt. And yeah. And I just kind of remember all these funny ways he would say things. And I know you guys have kids who say stuff in their own language too. But yeah, it was just it was funny to remember the mayonnaise song, the mayonnaise man. Mm, pardon me, I am so thirsty. I still have that cotton mouth. It's from the shot, right? I mean, did you guys get it? Oh, it's terrible. Okay, so that was our week. Oh, it's Friday. Thank God we made it. Ooh, I didn't think we would. It didn't look good there for a moment. Look, I'm missing one little guy. I hate when that happens. Like, oh man, one little arrow. Um, so how are you guys doing? Oh, I did pop over to see Grace this morning. Diamond Paint and Grace. She is, hey Grace, if you're listening, hey girl. She is so cute. And she has this diamond painting company that sent her out some stuff. And man, you naughty, naughty, bad girl enabler. I had to. I just had to. I mean, they were like, oh, I can do that. So yeah, so there's more stuff coming on the horizon that's going to be different from my typical animals with glasses kind of thing. Which, needless to say, I'm going to need a lot more walls. The one thing about a hoarder, I'll tell you what, and Marianne in particular, she always had the cleanest, well-painted walls and refused to ever hang a photograph. She had art, but she would never hang the art on the wall. Now, to people like you and I, and this stuff going on, oh my God, we'd be like, give me your wall space. I don't know where I'm going to hang half of them that I kind of have an idea, but it isn't there yet. Anyway, but a naked wall to me without art on it, or without photographs, or without a poster, without anything, is just tragic. And so every time I went to see her, I would always try to sneak something up on the wall. I would even bring my little wall hanging kit with me in the car and say, hey, I got my kit in the car. Let's hang up some pictures. No, 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 I just had the walls done. I can't do that. No, no, no. We can't put holes in the walls. So she was like a wall lover. And all of her stuff was off of the wall. She didn't pile stuff up on the wall. She'd pile it up in the middle of the room. So you felt like you were walking through a maze of boxes. But it was always fun to walk through and see, okay, this is what you've collected so far. Um, And my poor father-in-law, he is the complete opposite. Same compulsive behavior, but overly organized. Like every little thing. I mean, this would be unacceptable. Why is there a lipstick in with your pens? You should have a special place. And then, look, my friend sent me the tiniest little water gun in the world. Isn't that cute? I gotta see if it works. Anyway, I feel like it's a decluttering of sorts. It's all in one cup, but that would make him crazy. So, yeah, this is the world we live in, our crazy little circus, and we all just kind of ride. I'm not overly organized. I'm not overly messy. I'm sort of just in the middle. A little clutter isn't going to kill anybody. Um, I I have great Pyrenees, so oh yeah, and they're getting ready to blow their hair. So you know what I have to do this weekend? It is groom time, and I'm telling you, oh, I don't even know. Now George, he just goes into a coma. I start combing him down. He literally falls asleep, and I have to roll him over. Fiona, mm-mm, no, no. Nay, 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 girl. Don't you come near me with that comb. Don't you come near me with a hairbrush. That is all kryptonite to Fee. She doesn't like it. And this has been since she's a puppy. And I don't know why. No one's ever abused her with a hairbrush or a comb. No one's ever combed her too hard. She just now I can dig in my with my nails and I can literally pull out all the undercoat by hand because it's falling out. It's not hard. But she'll let me do that. But you try to groom that girl. Oh my God. It is like wrestling with a pig. I'm telling you, I am not looking forward to this weekend at all. Probably by Monday, I'll be sitting here talking to you going, oh my God, I need somebody to reorganize my spine because she just twisted me like a pretzel. It's going to be a joke. It's going to be horrible. But at least I'm happy we don't have to travel. I'm a little sad that we don't have to travel because it has really been so long since we have, seen anybody from either side of our families. Um, so it's a little sad, but I understand the logic of the Zoom funeral. I can't even say this without laughing. I mean, who thought we would ever come to the time in our life where we would do a Zoom wedding or a Zoom funeral? I mean, my gosh, I guess a wedding you can put off, but a funeral you really can't. And I just yeah, zooming the funeral is gonna be weird. Just I know that it's being done. I'm not the only one who's ever gone through it, but if you have, can you throw me a nugget of advice and let me know what I'm supposed to do and what I'm supposed to wear, and I mean, should it be like a party up top? Sorry, I just hit my ring light. Why are you so annoying today? Oh, and the allergies are coming, which lets you know we're just about done here. Um, should I dress and hat and makeup and hair on top, and then you know, uh, yoga pants on the bottom? What do I do? What do we do? So that's kind of a question. And I guess I'm going to have to get in touch with them and find out what are we participating? Are we speaking? What are we doing? What are we doing? But anyway, yeah, so if you, lose somebody in your family, even if they're the crazy one, try to think of 3 good things, and you'll see how quickly you're comforted by them. Don't always look at the outside and go, ugh. No, no, no. Can't cope with that. But yeah, I am serious about somebody needs to make a device. Like, you have all these devices in your life. If somebody made a device for seniors that live alone, where if there was no, like, a motion detector alarm, like if you don't move for 6 or 7 hours, alert a response team to come and do a well check on you, because I think that things may have turned out differently for her. I mean, considering her age and everything, I don't know how, if she fell, if she just passed out, but to be alone and on a cold floor in, the early spring, possibly for 2 days. We don't know how long she was there. Um, if you're a geek out there, just take this as a freebie, okay? Make a device so that we can check on the elderly without hovering over. Oh crap! Did you see what I just did? Without hovering over the elderly. That happened, people. And I'm not editing it out. You know why? Because you and I do this every day. This happens to us every freaking day. Somebody drops a little tray, and it's always because I use these little trays. I should have been using that guy. Okay, hold on. It's an easy fix. No problem. Look. Just take this little guy and push them all up here. And we'll just scoop them up. This is not tragedy. This is me trying to talk and work at the same time. It's never productive. Ever, ever, ever. Anyway, so, I think on this note, I'm probably going to say, have a good day and take care. Maybe I can just scrape them all up here. That'll work. Yeah, try to be kind to each other. And if you have that relative that you haven't talked to in a little while, that Christmas, Easter, birthday relative, why don't you just pick up the phone and make an unscheduled call and say, you know what? I was listening to this crazy chick on YouTube, and she just got me thinking, and I just wanted to call and say hello. Give him 5 minutes and use the phone for what we use the phone for. Not just taking selfies and posting Instagrams. Let's use the phone for talking to somebody. And so make that phone call today, I really highly recommend it. And I am definitely at that place where, I don't know. I guess maybe we all feel that guilt, Oh, should I have made that phone call? Should I have just done that last quick visit? Take a minute and reach out to somebody, because you never know if you're going to have a chance to do it again. And I say this as a person who lives by the mantra, procrastinate now, don't put it off. Okay? Procrastinate now, don't put it off isn't always a good thing. And, believe me, I can procrastinate like nobody's business. But, yeah, when things like this happen, I do tend to, look, I don't even have any wax. What am I doing? When things like this happen, you just tend to rethink things. And, of course, my husband, really, you guys, I mean, long-suffering husband goes right into Billy Crystal mode. And it takes him at least, at the most, I will say at the most, 5 minutes to start examining his mortality. Well, what if? And I was like, oh my God, no, not what if. Can we just not do what if? Every time he really turns into, the whole Billy Crystal thing. Well, but, that could happen to anybody. I mean, we just fall down the stairs and, who would find us? And I'm like, oh, no, honey. You're fine. Everything's fine. We're all fine. But make a phone call. Okay? Do your due diligence. Force yourself to make the phone call. Anyway, I love you guys. Have a great day. Be kind to one another. Thank you in advance if you choose to buy me a coffee. There's a little link in the description, and you just click it on, and you can do it once, or you can, by the way, somebody bought me like 3 coffees. Thank you, sir. How sweet of you. I'm not mentioning his name because he asked me not to. Some people are kind of private about that, and I totally respect it and appreciate it. But thank you very much for the coffee and for supporting the channel. And thank you for liking and subscribing. And come and see me again, okay? Come and see me soon. But in the meantime, shine on, people. Keep shining. Love you. We'll see you soon. Bye.